manage them, and bring us a complete product.
Wow.
Bro, you remember when I told you there are levels to the prison? That is where I quickly discovered that there's business and there's passion. And these two things zinakuanga hivi.
You said yes to do this production.
You say yes, you figure it out uko mbele. However, everything prepares you for that moment. Even what this conversation we are having right now and the meetings you and I have had before this convo, I know are preparing me for the next. You just never know what the next is. So back to Tahidi High and mother-in-law when we were literally, I'd say, slaving. Remember, Tahidi High, when we came in, had a crew of 3 people. So we had a small mentality production company working there. So even as the show grew and as we got into the crew, my responsibilities grew.
Yes.
But the crew didn't grow as. So
proportionately.
Yes. So by the time I was leaving Tahidi High and mother-in-law, I was directing, I was producing, I was ADing, I was doing art, I was doing casting.
Wow.
I remember when I left, they hired 6 people to replace me. They hired 3 people at Tahidi and 3 people at mother-in-law.
Wow.
So at that point, nilikuwa nasikia daddy. But what that did for me is I know the A to Z of any production. Me, I will do art for you. Hata makeup ukikambaya nitafanya. All the way to producing, which is the money, like doing payrolls, figuring out the money. So by the time we are getting these contracts, I don't have the equipment, but I know how to run everything.
Okay.
So when we start off, we are hiring equipment, we are hiring gear. Again, back to the integrity bit, so we now start getting jobs, and instead of paying ourselves, we now start investing in equipment. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So these shows that you did, are you still doing Hula Baloo?
Yeah.
Till today?
Till today.
You still the production house?
Yes.
How many years? 9 years later, you're saying? Almost.
Yes. This was 2016, so it was 2024, going into 2025.
And some of them you do 2 in a season, in a year?
Two shows.
Do you shoot different seasons in a year?
Yeah, we do. Every year, one season is 13 episodes. So every year we do 52 episodes there.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys, that's crazy. So for them to keep, and now are you doing script writing or are you just production?
For
Hula Baloo.
For Hula Baloo. So when, again, back to culture changing. So when these guys came on board, for them, they had never worked with a written script before. The way they used to work is they meet on set, they discuss today's episode, and then they roll cameras and they go. Because walikuwa wamezoea vioja, which so for them what they do is improv acting, which is the hardest form of acting. If you're an actor out there at some point in your life, do improv acting. That thing will sharpen your skill set. So we come here and I tell them, now guys, here, we can't work like that. We have to do a script. By then, tulikosana sana. Because for them, they're like, so now that's money we are going to take away and pay writers, but it's okay. And but finally wakakubali. So now Abel again went into scripting, but this time round, now we are starting to build a team. We are very clear. We are not going back to those days. We are collapsing because of work. So Njugush came in as one of the first writers of Hula Baloo Estate. And that's where Njugush honed his skill of writing his short format content. Njugush is a properly trained script writer. Like, he knows how to structure. So usione videos zinaenda viral ufikiri, he knows how to structure a story.
Yeah. There's an art to the jokes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. where was I going with this?
No. So now you bring in script writing for them.
For them.
Yeah.
So again, changing their culture. Right now, where we are at, I've seen those gentlemen go and do other shows on other platforms, and they even call in our writers. So nowadays, wamekubali script ni muhimu.
Wow.
So what we don't do word for word, but we do the structure, the A to Z of the story. So they still do their improv thing, but now it's on paper, it's scripted. It helps me produce better because when it's scripted, I know how long I will take to shoot. I know who I need to hire, who I need. Again, I had done this for so long, one man. So now running a company, I knew I just need this person and this person and this person and this person and this person.
Wow.
Yeah.
52 episodes, you're holding millions, but you had held millions. Paying guys.
Paying guys. However, remember at Citizen, I was just quote unquote an employee.
Yes.
So I was only given millions to pay people. Now here you're being given millions, manage them and bring us a complete product.
Wow.
Bro, you remember when I told you there are levels to the prison? That is where I quickly discovered that there's business and there's passion. And these two things zinakuanga hivi. We went into the game because we were passionate on content, on TV making, filmmaking, but we didn't know how to be a businessman. Bro, the losses we made that first year. You know, when this money checks into your account, you get excited. You're thinking, sisi tumeomoka.
Like how much? A 10M?
Bro. So those ones I can't say.
No. People can't say figures.
No, that one is in the contract.
Okay.
Yeah, with Mnet, so I can't say.
I get it.
I can't disclose. But yeah, it's a lot of money. And
Well,
so when it
listen
comes...
to that.
Yeah.
Contracts. Contracts hata kuko umecheza before.
Yeah.
In terms of production contracts.
Yes.
This is business now.
This is business. Now I'm learning. So now I'm like, yeah. So I need to understand legal jargon or hire a lawyer. You know, but at that point, the pressure is... So you're just working, and then by the time you're finishing the two projects, you're like -5 mic. You're like, ooh, we. And then this is your ways. We're not the producers who tukimaliza project tuko na nyumba na gari. In fact, because we had gotten into the game saying we will change things. By the way, wasi wa crew walikuwa nakam kunegotiate na sisi tunaambia hiyo ndio umekota. Acha nikuongezee 20k on top. We did not know how to do business. And then so the first year goes, the show is big, the two shows massive. By the way, all the shows that were the year we came in, we got 2 shows. There were another, I think, 2 or 3 other shows that were commissioned around the same time. All the other shows were dropped. Only our 2 shows were commissioned for a second season.
Wow. Because
Suna Johnny went viral online.
But explain to me, these shows are only on DSTV.
Yes.
So you needed a decoder.
Yes.
To watch at this time.
Yes. We need the
There was
decoder.
no what's this, Showmax?
No. But now for Suna Johnny, because in the especially social media game, and Kate was co-owner of Suna Johnny. She was it was her concept actually.
For real?
Yeah. So this is a concept we developed together. So it was her concept, and she was big on social media. And so we had learned a few things about social media. So we went ham. Suna Johnny even built the Maisha Magic page. Like it was getting numbers.
Wow.
So it used to drive traffic now even to their pages and to the channel.
Okay.
And then...
But were they putting the full thing on the channel?
No. Just clips, snippets.
Clips. So they're looking at the madness happening with those snippets.
Yes.
They're like, and of course, maybe a few guys wondering, how do I watch this?
Then it translates.
So translation to sign-ups onto DSTV.
Absolutely. And
Subscription.
And GoTV as well. And then this other show, Hula Baloo Estate, which to date has taught me a lot of things. It's an improv show that you'd call KBC content. So you're thinking, this one is for... Yes. So you're thinking this is mass market. It's for, wase Wakenya wa kawaida, unajua, ordinary. The show was doing well, on the highest bouquet of DSTV.
What?
You know that bouquet of 10K?
Yeah.
It's the most watched on that bouquet. So we're even being called for meetings. Even them, they're not understanding. But now, at that point again, now my business mind is like, okay, now I'm starting to understand dynamics, the society. So a lot of the guys who used to watch Vioja wakiwa mashinani 20, 30 years ago are the ones who are the bosses now. Walikuja urban, wakaomoka. They're the biggest CEOs, the biggest managers, but at the heart, at the core, yes, was Vioja.
Yep.
So now they can afford the bouquets that are 10K. Yeah, but they still want to watch their Vioja content.
And let's understand this. The data from the decoders is on point. Oof. In terms of they can tell exactly what you're watching, for how long.
Yes.
In terms of data analysis.
Yes, yes.
So by the time your shows are being left on, this is not a feeling.
No.
This is data.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. And so at that point now, nowadays I'm very particular about data.
And they share this data with you, of course, to improve your shows.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't. No channel or streamer ever shares their data. Globally, I don't know why, but you become smart about it. You ask a few questions here, you read, you see a comment, you say, so you piece these things together. Once in a while, maybe you get an insider person who lets you know a thing or two. I mean, it's one thing that I've been really rallying for a lot of platforms. Please share your data with us. We're not doing it from a show-off perspective or anything. It's the more I understand your data, the more I understand who I am writing for. But thankfully for social media, because we've been very intentional, now we know our audience. By the time we develop a concept, I already know my audience. Yeah.
Wow. Dude, let's take a break. This convoy I don't want to rush past this.
Okay.
I just feel like there's so many gems you're giving. I'm trying to figure out how are you now you're becoming CEO.
Yes.
Now you're becoming CEO.
Thank you. You're seeing it. We'll get there.
We'll come back.